Hello, my name is Kenyatta, and today I'll be introducing you to a manga called The Promised Neverland by Kayu Shirai, illustrated by Potsuka Demizu, and a text called 17 by Oe Kenzaburo. The Promised Neverland takes place on a plantation surrounded by walls. This plantation is called Gracefield House. It is an orphanage meant to raise kids who are supposedly meant to be shipped off into the city, into actual civilization, to families because they are now suitable to return to society. Not that they weren't prior, but they're old enough now to go to families. Mother Elizabeth, the headmaster of the orphanage, watches over these children, and the story specifically follows three main characters: Emma, Ray, and Norman, all who are extremely intelligent children for their age. Nonetheless, they come across a very jarring discovery one day when they wandered off the parameters of the plantation. They entered a gated area, and what they saw was, well, it was something.
Today I will be eating children.
Yes, that's right. All those kids are lambs to the slaughter for demons. They're a delicacy. Their entire lives are a lie. On that note, the kids, Norman, Ray, and Emma, alongside all the other orphans, decide to devise an escape plan. They pretend as if they don't know anything and simulate their own escape over the wall via a makeshift zip line using coat hangers and clothing lines. Of course, such thing went over Mother Elizabeth's head, and she didn't get suspicious of the kids until later on when they began to go into leagues with Sister Chrome, one of Mother Elizabeth's helper. Sister Chrome wanted to overthrow Elizabeth for her own sake of gaining power because she felt like she was more deserving, and she ended up dead due to the fact that Elizabeth sniffed her out. And in order to cover their tracks, Norman decided to sacrifice himself as a kid who didn't know anything at all. He had his shipment day early, so Elizabeth didn't think suspect of any of the kids. And so the kids were able to escape the plantation due to Norman's sacrifice in the end. On the other hand, Oe Kenzaburo 17 follows a 17-year-old who is neglected by his family and school alike. No one even told him happy birthday besides the stray cat, in his mind, of course. He explores his body through religious masturbation and is bewildered by his own identity, lost in whatever he believes he is. He feels insignificant and misunderstood as there is no one by his side and relies on self-loathing to cope with the reality that he is imperfect. After going to a rally for a liberal activist, he has an epiphany that he should forgive himself for his self-hatred. He's naturally imperfect. It was revealed to him that when he was in peace with himself, surrounded by others who were also liberal, he felt content with who he was. And so he went out and grew to be a liberal activist. Now, both The Promised Neverland and 17 have similarities and differences in their coming of age, each character's coming of age, and also what that is meant to express in terms of their messages on existentialism. For Promised Neverland, the characters' coming of age were extremely abrupt. Immediately after finding out that they're meant to be stock for the demons to eat, the children immediately made a 180 in their character, and they essentially grew up in a sense that they needed to be independent because they couldn't rely on the very person that took care of them, that being Mother Elizabeth. The narrator of 17's coming of age was more so an existential crisis that he progressed through. He started from a self-loathing, depressed boy, then to becoming a person who loves who they are and accepts the fact that they are indeed imperfect. Now, where the two texts have crossroads, it's on the reference point in which these characters' coming of age began. Both instances involve the characters starting in a state of ignorance. For the kids in The Promised Neverland, they thought they were in paradise, normal kids living on an orphanage, when in fact they were just meat for monsters to devour. In the case of 17, the narrator was ignorant of his own self-worth. He thought he was worthless in this world because he was alone until he found people that he clicked with, the liberals that he became an activist alongside. Moving on to the matter of existentialism, both reveal that coming to terms with one's existence, or rather finding self-value, is liberating. Ray, Emma, and Norman were in a blissfully ignorant state in which they thought they were in paradise. However, when they realized that they were instead food for demons, that snapped them out of this blissfully ignorant state. They were liberated from their childlike mindsets. Same with the narrator from 17. He began as ignorant in terms of thinking that he was worth nothing, yet he was liberated from such when he was surrounded by others who shared the same mindset as himself. All in all, both authors convey the fact that when you find what you're worth and what your purpose in life is, you're liberated from your childish mindsets and therefore able to transcend from a child into an adult. But that's all, folks. See you in my next presentation. Goodbye.